Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Sure, sure. I hope I'm audible enough. Okay. Okay, so we are in the week 5 of this course on programming data structures and algorithms using Python. So, as you all know, the course is instructed by Professor Madhavan Mukund of Chennai Mathematical Institute. And I'm your TA, Syed Shabir Ahmed. I'll be taking these problem solving sessions as I've been taking from the past 4 weeks. So, uh, so I'm from the Department of Applied Mechanics and Biomedical Engineering. I'm a research scholar here. So, in IIT Madras. So, uh, we have gone through 4 weeks of content, and we are in the fifth week. So, we have learned a lot of things. From introduction to Python to how to install it, various operations, how to define functions, how to write basic algorithms, binary search algorithms, and sorting algorithms. We have seen a few of these things during our 4 weeks of uh, content, and we are in the fifth week. Fifth week, we have something related to files and also related to exceptions. And we'll go through these things and we'll revise a few things and do that what is required to solve for you in this assignment. So before uh, we could go, so we could go further. So I have I have given in the Google Drive link which is shared with you. I have shared a few practice sets for all the weeks. Like some of you were asking me, you need additional practice questions, right? So these are like from week 1 to week 5. So there are few practice questions. I think around 15 to 20 for each week. You can open them. There are also some steps to approach how to approach the problem. You can see uh, these things. So these are few things like which will help you revise, and there are like a lot of coding questions. Few uh, things maybe like writing a pseudocode or these things. You can practice them. Like I won't like these are not required for you to be submitted. Like you can just go through them and make uh, fine tune your learning ability. Like it will help you. So there are things like which you can see. Like lot of questions are there. This is the second week. I think 20 questions. Similarly for third week, you can see you have to write problems. You have to write codes and verify. So till fifth week I have uploaded. Sixth week and seventh week and eighth week subsequently I'll upload as the as we enter into the lectures. Like I think we have already got the content for week 6 I think. So I'll upload by 4 or 5 days. 3 4 days in 3 4 days I will upload. So these are things you can take and practice. I don't know, like I have made it like beginner friendly. Like uh, probably if you need more difficult ones, you can let me know that you need more difficult sets. But I hope first you will go through this. Like this will help you retain the basics. If you need more than that, you please let me know. I'll increase the difficulty level and add. few more questions on you. Okay. 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 Anybody has any uh, doubts related to the course? Uh, Hope you go through these practice sets. It will help you. The thing with these courses on programming languages or like anything related to computations or mathematics, programming. In these courses, you have to do like practice a lot. Like only by doing things, you will be able to learn. So if you are not like actively uh, practicing stuff, like you are not coding, and you are just assuming that you are learning just by uh, learning things, that won't be enough actually. It will uh, give you an delusion that you are able to understand, but actually when you go and code and like do like you have to go in the exam and solve it, you won't be able to do. So I request you all to do a lot of practice. Like I can't emphasize enough like how much like I have said, like daily or minimum 1 hour of practice. uh, but depending upon your capability, you might need to increase the number of hours depending upon your schedules. So I hope you do that and do practice. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have shared with you, right? I have given the practice sets here. See, you can take these questions and practice, or also you can go to some sites like Hacker Rank or Stack Overflow, whatever. You can go and practice there. I have shared the link. You can open this and you can get questions. Uh, there are practice sets. You can refer to them. I have made them beginner friendly, but if you want me like if you want more difficulty level, you let me you let me know. I'll prepare more. So now open this link. Okay. So today uh, we'll go through week 5. So week 5 we had as we had like exception handling and input. So and a lot of different uh, stuff related to files, reading files, modifying files, reading and writing files, and some stuff related to delete and all these things. We'll go through them. Okay, so we'll revise whatever we can in the time we have. Uh, yeah. Okay. So uh, we have in the first lecture we have seen what is exception handling and how we can also prompt a program to ask the user for input. So till now we haven't seen how to uh, give input as the program runs. So now we will see how we have seen in this lecture how we can ask the user for input as we execute the program, take the input and run the remaining code based upon that. So first, we will see how we can write a program. So the thing, first in the first question, we'll see how we can write a program that repeatedly asks the user to enter an integer. So you have to enter an integer as the input as the computer asks you for it. And then if the input is invalid, so you have to print a error message and ask again the user to give another input which is valid. So this goes on till you give valid input. So when the user gives a input which is valid, or let's say here in this case, if the user gives an input which is a valid integer, the program should terminate only then. Otherwise, it has to keep asking to give a valid input by displaying the error. So we have to like we can do this with by doing division with error handling. Like if we are performing division, so we can ask the user for two integers and then compute the division. So we have to handle here two exceptions here. So first is we have to handle the invalid input. So let's say if the user gives a string, then it will not be a valid input. So you have to give only valid inputs like integer. If it is not an integer, it has to be handled well by displaying an error message, and we have to do division by zero. Next thing is we have to do division by zero. So division by zero is not possible, and like computer will not make it happen. Like it will just throw an error that it is a division by zero. So in that case also you have to display an error message, and you have to tell the user without aborting the program. So the thing is there are two types of errors in Python. So one is syntax error. Syntax error is something, let's say when you are writing a code and you make like if you are not let's say when we define functions, if we are not giving indentation, if you are writing an if condition or a while condition, if you are not giving indentation, or if you are defining a list and you are not using square brackets to start and end. So lot of things which are like basic things, like in a language, let's say how punctuation is there. So if you if you don't write the program properly according to its syntax, so Python will directly give you, like before running the program, Python will tell you that there is a syntax error. It will not run. It will first scan the whole program. It will tell you that there is a syntax error. So syntax error has to be like, it cannot be handled by any exception handling. You have to write the program by maintaining the syntax properly. So if you're not doing it properly without maintaining the syntax, it will definitely throw you an error. You have to rectify it. Next, the second thing is runtime error. So runtime error is syntax and everything is fine, but while you are, let's say, executing the code, the first line is executed, second line is executed. Let's say if you have some 1,000 lines of code, till 9,999th line, the code gets executed line by line. When you reach the 999th line, so there is some error, like you are asking the user for input, and like there is division by zero. So these kinds of error can occur, and what happens is the program will terminate, and again it will throw an error. So you will see the error that this is not valid. There is an error. Division by zero is happening, and it cannot do anything. So it will throw you an error and the program will get terminated. So in order to run it again, so what happens is like you have to run the program again from the first line to again 999 lines. You have to run it again. So sometimes what happens is like when we write Python codes, like there are codes which will require you to run for hours. Let's say I'm a guy who does scientific computation. Sometimes to do simulations while I write programs in Python, so it will take me half an hour or 1 hour to execute the whole code. So if I'm not handling these exceptions, what happens is that let's say I have run the code for 50 or 60 minutes. Sometimes it even takes days actually. Like I'm just saying 1 hour. Sometimes there are like people who work on fluid mechanics in fluid mechanics. So they do simulations which can take like a few days actually. Like you might also know people who build games. So rendering takes, or also people who do VFX for movies and stuff. So it takes sometimes days for them to render things. So if you have not written the program in such a way that you are handling the error properly, what happens is that the program will get terminated. It will throw an error. The program will get terminated, and you have to run the program again from the beginning. So which is not a good idea, because you have wasted, like you will waste just again time and computational resource, power, everything by running the program again. Lot of electricity, everything goes waste. So that's what like if you are handling an error, let's say if there is an invalid input, so computer will ask you to again like if you are handling exceptions, let's say if you're handling the exception of invalid input, so computer will ask you to give a proper input again. So it will not terminate the program. So when you give an proper input, it will execute it from the same line, like 999th line. So all your effort will not go wasted. Okay. So that is why we have to handle exceptions properly. So we can like do a lot of we can anticipate a lot of errors actually. So like while division we know that while doing division we know that there is a possibility of uh, uh, getting divided by zero. So there are a lot of errors which we can anticipate in advance. So for those type of errors we can handle them properly and make the programming a very better way by uh, incorporating exceptions. So that's what we have seen in this first lecture. So, so can anybody tell me like now, like what depending upon like what I explained? So, what will happen if you don't handle the exception properly? So, what will happen if you don't handle an exception properly? Does anyone have an answer? Okay, you can turn on your mic and answer, or you can also type. Like, what happens if you don't handle the exception properly? You can also type in the chat box. Yeah.
Sir, my idea. I'm explaining only my idea about exception.
Yeah.
In a programming, exception is the base case. If we leave the exception, the base case means we are we are running the program unnecessarily for too many steps. If we put the base case at the proper location, proper place, we can minimize too many steps, and I think so, sir.
Okay. Anybody else has any answer? Yes, Sriram. Yes, you can speak.
Hello,
Hello.
sir.
Yeah, yeah,
So I have one doubt.
yeah.
In file exception, is that compiler check for all the syntaxes or what exactly happens in there?
See, whenever you write a program, first thing it will check is like the syntax error. Okay, it will not run your program. So first, it will scan the whole program, and it will throw you directly if there are any syntax errors. Only when the syntax errors are like rectified, then only your program will start running from line.
Yes, sir. But in week 4, we have learned that sometimes when we when we start programming and when we write program for recursion, it will
Okay,
sometimes recursion takes lots of steps, and
yeah.
it has also limits. So how it will get to know that it has reached to maximum level or what limit?
Oh, you are mixing lot of things. That is different actually. Recursion, you were asking me about syntax error. Syntax
Yes.
error is basic grammar error, let's say, like grammatical errors, how you make in English. That's similar to that, you can say, like basic structure of the language is there, right? So that is syntax error. So that is different. In recursion, see what Lakshmi was also saying. He was also saying like exception is like base case. No, these are not base cases. So even this recursion in base case, in recursion, if you don't have a base case, the program will run like for infinite, like it will not terminate at all. So it will keep on doing the computations if you don't have a base case. So that is a different. So we were dealing with algorithms and stuff. So forget about that thing. So okay. So
Yes.
you, I don't know. So let's say your program has, let's say, 20. It will take 20,000 recursions or something uh, to completely execute. But Python, as we learned, that it has limit. I think 10,000, right? So 10,000 is the recursion limit. If you want more than those many recursions to take place, like Python will tell you that limit has been reached. If you want to increase, like you can modify, like there is a command which we give, right? So to increase the recursion limit, so that you can do and increase the recursion limit so that your program compiles and till it reaches the base case and it hits the base case and it goes out of the recursion loop and it gives a result. Okay, so that is a different thing. Okay, recursion is a different thing. Don't mix it here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You understand?
Yes, sir. I understood.
Okay. Uh, yeah, Sriram, you were saying right something. Uh, you're not audible, Sriram. I don't know. Hello. Okay. You're not audible. Maybe there is some problem with your mic. Okay. So the thing is, like, if you don't handle an exception properly while coding, so the program will abort immediately. As I have said, like, we'll see that with an example. Okay. See, let's say you have made an app like you have made some app, let's say a social media app or shopping app, something like that. Okay. So what happens is, like, if you don't handle exceptions, like if you are not expecting the errors which might occur in advance, and you are not handling them well, what happens is that it will it will like crash the program completely. It will abort the program, and sometimes it can be very fatal. Like your whole app will crash, and the it will get closed, and it will not be a very good thing to have, right? Like you want the user to have a very good user interface, and you want the user to know what are all the different things which are happening. Like, so let's say you have, let's say, as I said, like you have written a program for an app. So basic thing which we have is login credentials. So in the login credentials, if the user is not giving the input properly, let's say the username or the password according to the defined input, let's say uh, username, you want it to be a string, and password, let's say you want it to be just like, let's say, password or pin, you can say, like you want it to be integer. So if the user is, let's say, giving uh, instead of integer in the pin, instead of integer he is giving some alphabets, abcd, something like that. So what happens is that input is not proper, right? So the program will crash immediately, and it will throw an error. So like what is that value error or like type error? It will show a type error, it will show like in the terminal. But while you are running an app, behind, like on the surface we have the user interface, behind that there is a code running. So the user will not care about the code which is running in the background, right? So he is just looking at the user interface. So if it throws an error, like sometimes you might have seen, like with lot of apps giving random error messages on the screen, you won't be able to read the error message, right? It will be very complicated. So you have to handle this exception, by telling the user, like by displaying an error message that you have entered pin incorrectly, and you have to enter the pin in the form of integers, or let's say you have to enter numerical digits. Like that, you have to display a message on the app's user interface. So that will help the user to interact properly with the app. Okay. So if you don't do these things, what happens is like random error message will occur, or your app will crash. Okay, Sriram, it's fine. So a random error message will occur, and your app will crash, and it will not be a very good user experience for the user. So you have to handle the expression, you have to handle the exceptions properly. Okay, let's we will see one example. Okay. uh, that is one error. Let's say uh, you have, like, if you want a user to log in, so basically we need internet, right? If you want to log in into Facebook or Instagram, you need internet. If there is no internet, you won't be able to log in, because like your program has to communicate with the servers online, and it has to verify the credentials, and then it will give you an access. So if there is no internet at all, obviously there will be an error. Your program will throw an error, which will be very hard to read for the user. So you have to handle this exception by saying, uh, like by printing on the screen that there is a network error, please check your internet and try it. Okay. Let's say if the server is too busy, and your program, like your mobile phone is not able to communicate it properly, how will you handle this exception? You will tell the user that server is busy, retrying in 5 seconds, something like that. You will display a message. Okay. If the username is not there in the database at all, like if the user is not registered at all. Okay. you have to handle this exception by saying invalid username or password. So something like that. So you should not tell the user that the username is invalid or the password is invalid, because sometimes there will be hackers who will be working to try and hack accounts. So you have to tell either username or password is invalid. Like if username is uh, not valid, or if password is not valid, you have to display the message like in a smart way by saying that invalid user name or password. So you are not telling the user exactly what is invalid. So if like if the user is like a proper or a real user, he will know that username is correct or password is something like that. Okay. Or let's say if you don't know what kind of error is happening, like you don't know what error is happening, but you want the user to have a you want the user to know properly that there is some error happening, you can handle exception. So like you have not predicted that error, like internet error, user not found error or timeout error. These things we can predict in advance. Let's say you are newly building it and some errors obviously you cannot predict in advance. uh, then you can tell uh, the user that an unknown error occurred. Our team has been notified. Like in the background, what you will do is you will take the error log and your app will send it to the team. They will look into it and it will they will make sure that in the future releases when they update the app, they will handle it properly. Okay. So that's what these things like this, that's why like we need to handle exceptions well. Otherwise user experience will be very bad and program will get crashed and nobody will use your app, and they will directly uninstall the app, and that is not a good thing, right? So we have to we have to uh, make sure that we handle these things properly. So let's see how we can do division, computer division. Ask the user for integers and computer division, and how we handle this invalid input and division by zero thing. Okay. Week-5. So let's say first we have to ask the user, right? We have to ask the user for input, input, enter the integer. Or let's say enter an integer. So this whatever the string which I am writing, enter an integer. This is just a display message, so which will prompt the user to enter required input. So you have to make sure that this gets closed in double quotes. Let's say I will run this, and I want obviously right. I want the input to be an integer. So what happens is that whenever we give the input through our keyboard, so all the inputs will be taken as strings only. So then we have to convert them into required types like integer or float or something like that. So by default, whenever you enter an input using your keyboard or let's say by through files or something, like we will see how we can handle the files also. Like whenever you are asking the user to give input by keyboard, so by default it will go as a string. So if you want to change the type of it, like if you want to make it an as like type of that input as an int, like I can use this type conversion function, right? So int of something will convert whatever that whatever is given into an integer. Okay. Let's see. Like I will run this. Let's say I will take 45, then it's fine. Okay. So the program has learned. So now if I, try, let's say print what is the value of n, then it is 45. And if I type and see, like if I want to check the type of n, then you can see type of n is int because I have converted it. Let's say if you are not doing using this int function, and you are just uh, running it, then we can say that if I just now again I'll use 45, I'll enter the input. Now the input has been assigned to the variable n, and if I print n now, you can see it is printing 45. Now if I check the type, then you can see that this is a string. This is not an integer. So I have to use this type conversion function int to convert whatever the input which is given into an integer. Okay. So very important. Let's say now if I will run again, instead of giving an integer, let's say I'll give 5b. Okay. Now I will run. Okay, the input is taken. Now you can see there is a value error. Okay. So this is a value error. It has given a message by saying, we know that value error means uh, whatever the input which is given to this int function is not valid. So you can see it has to be base 10, which means like base 10 means like we have to give in integers in decimal system. Okay. So here, this is not a valid input. Okay. So uh, we should, like, now you can see the program is aborted completely. It has been aborted. Now if I want to give an input again, like what I have to do is I have to run the program again. So from the start I have to run the program, and it will ask the user again for the input. Okay. So this is what happens. Because this is just a one line of code, this is fine. Okay. Like I can run in just few seconds. Let's say you have 900, as I said, 1,000 lines of code, and in the 1,000 line, like the user is asked an input to enter, and if he's giving some invalid input, like what we have given, instead of an integer, we are giving some kind of some other input like a string. What happens is that the total program will get crashed, and you have to run the program again from the start to the beginning. So how we can handle this exception? So that's what we are learning, right? So to do that, we can write our code like this. So I'm just copy pasting here. So now you can see I have written this code. Can anybody tell me what is the error in this code? If I run it, what will the error which will come out of it? Anybody? What kind of error? See this code, okay? See this code.
Sir, it's depend on what input you provide for the program.
Okay. Anybody? Any other answer? You see this code and tell me what error can come. Okay. Next, you try to guess like if some other error is possible.
Sir,
Yeah.
after first line,
Like
after the while, there is no condition. There is only true written.
Yeah. No, no. There is a condition, but Sriram has answered. So there is an indentation error. So what I said, whenever you have this loops like for loop or a while loop or a if condition, so the next line which you write should be indented. So there is no indentation, right? Like there should be white space. So that is the most important. So now you think this is proper, like I have given indentation. Now you think, now you do you think this code is correct now, or still there is an error? Yeah, anybody will answer?
It is try catch.
Hmm? Yeah, still there is a indentation error here. Okay, so after try, so try is also kind of a condition. So after this again you have to give indentation. After this line again exception, except while we handle the exception using this condition except value error, again there should be an indentation. After else again you have to give an indentation. Okay, this print has to go out of the loop. So what happens, like here what we are doing basically is, so first it will go like check for syntax errors. There are there are no, like I'll just show you how if there is a syntax error how it will see. First this line has to get executed, 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 and this line has to get executed, right? Line by line it will execute. But you can see that Python is not doing that. So it is directly saying that there is an indentation. So that is what, like indentation error is a syntax error. So before doing anything else, before running the program, so Python will check for the syntax. If the syntax is correct, then it will go and run the program. So whatever the errors we get apart from the syntax errors are called runtime errors. So yeah, that's what I meant. So now if I run the program again, now you can see what happens is that it will ask for an input. Okay, let's say I'll give some input like uh, what is that, 5b again, like I'll give 5b. I have to enter an integer, but I will give some string, so I will not give an integer. Okay. So what happens is that because because I am not giving a proper input here, what happens is that int, when you give improper input to the int function, it will throw an value error, as we have seen. So because of that value error, there is some error happening. So that's why, like whenever there is a value error happening, what happens is that Python will print this line and ask the user. Python will print this line saying that, telling the user that there is an invalid input, try again. So what happens is it will execute this exception. It will handle the error like this, and it will go again. So as long as this error is true, as long as this error is exception is there, as long as this error is happening, this while loop is true. Okay, so this will be true, and this while loop will keep on getting executed. So Again it will ask. Let's say again I'll give some H7 something like that. Again there is an error. So again it will go to the start and again it will ask the user to enter an integer. So let's say this time I'll give proper input. Let's say I'll give 78. Now what happens is, now you can say, now you see that because I have given proper input, now there is no error, value error happening because I have given proper input and int is getting a proper input, and whatever the input which we have given a string is converted into an integer, and this is executed without any error. So that's why there is no exception. And now because there is no exception, this will program will go to this line, the else condition will get executed and it will break out of the while loop. Now you see, so if it breaks out of the loop, again the next line which has to be executed is whatever the input which you have entered is n. So the input which we have entered is 78. Okay, so I hope this is clear, right? So you have understood how to handle the exception, right? Good. Are we good? Yeah. So now we have to ask the user for two integers and then compute the division. Okay. So the next thing we have to do is we have to ask for two integers, and we have to, as we have already handled the invalid input error, now again we'll handle some other error which is called division by zero error. Let's see. Zero division error. Yeah. See, you have to. Have you watched the lectures? Whatever the lectures are there uploaded in the YouTube. Have you watched them? The course lectures you have watched.
Yes, sir.
You have watched. You all the for fifth week lectures completely have watched, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. See, as I have said, this condition, like whenever you give a proper input, the program will get properly. Okay. If you don't give a proper input,
Yes.
Python will throw errors. Okay. So, like if you are just, we have seen right previously. Let's say I am just asking the user without handling any exceptions here. I'm just asking the user for input, and I want to convert that input into an integer. Forget about this. Now you just have written this. Okay. If the user is
Yes, sir.
entering 6b, let's say you are not entering integers. Now you can see there is a value error. So Python will throw an error. Now again, what you have to do is you have to run the program again. You have to run this program again, like whatever. This is only one line program. You have to run the code again. Now you can see again it is asking for an integer. This is fine as long as this is one line of code. If you have, let's say, 1,000 lines of code, you are running 1,000 lines, and in the 1,001 line, you are asking the user for input, and he is giving improper input. What happens is that the program will cache immediately. It will throw an error. Now what you have to do is like you have to run the program again from the beginning. So that is a very waste use of all the resources, because sometimes it will take hours to run those 1,000 lines of code. You don't want that. You want to handle this error properly. So to do that, we will write like this. So here we are handling the exceptions. Exceptions are whatever the errors which we are anticipating in advance that this error can happen. Like this is an error, right? Obviously, user can give you a string instead of an integer. So this error can happen. So if the user gives an string instead of an integer, there is a value error. So what I am doing is I am handling that error by using this exception case. Here you write it like this: except value error. So whenever there is a value error, what happens is that Python will print this statement saying invalid input, try again. And what happens? It will go from here to again line 1, because this error is there. Means if this error is there, the while condition, like whenever you write like this, if the exceptions are true, like let's say value error is happening, it means that exception is there, and except that will be denoted by true. Let's say if the exception is there in the if the exception is there in program, it will be denoted by true. Like we have boolean, right? Like true or false. So we have learned in the first week. So if the exception is there, it will go to the while loop, like because this is a while loop, right? Like loop means like it has to go again and again. So exception is there, it is true. So what happens is that again it will ask the user to enter an integer. Again we have seen that uh, it will not terminate the program immediately. Okay, it will not terminate the program. Again it will ask the user, try again. So if you enter the input again properly, now you can see that if the input is entered properly, this line will get executed and there is no exception. Okay, and there is no exception, and this condition is also false now because there is no error. So if there is value error, this condition will while condition will be true. So what happens is that before that this because there is no exception, it will go to this line else and it will break out of the loop. So that's what will happen. And again, like whatever the lines of code below that are there, they will be executed. So the program will not get adopted in the like the program will not get aborted in this case. Okay, so this will make your life much easier. Okay,
Sir,
right? Yeah.
sir, not related to this problem. Actually, the certification exam will be will be difficult, like the assignments given, or it will be little easy, sir.
This, like whatever the level of assignments are there, I think it will be similar to that. So you have to prepare yourself to the level of assignments which are given. Whatever like
In
the previous.
assignments, the program's length will be more like 20-25 lines more. A long programs are given in the assignment. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. See, there will be proper line. There will be proper time which will be allotted for you for each program. So the thing is, you have to make yourself. You have to practice in such a way that you have to go to that level that your problem, like solving the problem in that amount of time. Okay. There will be proper, like if they are giving you a program, they will give you the required amount of time to write that program. In the assignments, like whatever you are solving here, you have like finite amount of time, right? Like a week or 10 days or something like that.
Yes.
So you can use that time, but practice more and more. Like algorithms are there, like whatever the sorting algorithms are there, or the recursion topics are there, complexity topics. All these things you have to practice them like lot of times. Then you will be like very good in doing stuff. So you won't be able to you won't take a lot of time to write your codes if you have practiced well. So that's what I would say. Practice well. Do a lot of practice, and it will be easy for you. So you can write the programs in the required amount of time which they are given. Okay.
Okay, sir. And also the exam, a model exam like that will there be any model exam like that in the module? Then
Can you ask again?
like the original exam for the certification, will there be any model exam to be to write in the end of the modules after we finish modules?
I don't know actually. Somebody has asked this question in the forum, I think, right? I will check. that will be communicated to you by the NPTEL team. But I think they will give not model exam, but I think like the kind of questions you will get, those things they will give you. I think that's what I'm expecting, because this is the first time I'm taking this course. I have taken some other like conducted sessions for other courses. There they had given like type of questions, like sample questions or something like that. I hope they give here as well. Uh, just see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there is no clarification regarding this. Uh, I hope they'll give. Like, I'll ask the NPTEL team if they can do that.
Okay.
They will be communicated. Somebody,
Sir,
yeah,
please
Nikhil.
review
Yeah, yeah.
I write this program.
What?
Sir, please review the program. I write this program.
What program? I don't know.
Now you are teaching, sir.
Oh, that is done, right? Like we have explained.
Yes, sir. I understand. But I write this program.
I am not able to understand what you want to say. You know other language, Hindi or something, like properly.
Sir, another example, exception.
No. Jaya, like this guy was asking some question.
Index out of range, sir.
Index out of range.
So you want the
In
program?
arrays, using
No. Yeah. I'll array.
Sir.
Are we dealing with arrays here? No, right? In this week.
No, sir. But that exception handling this error will come, sir. Index out of range. So in Python also this.
Yeah. I think we have in 7 or 8. I think we will go to arrays. I think still it's not there. There we are not. We have not reached arrays. Like it will just confuse people. There is a lot of things, other things only. But you can handle that. Like it's not a problem. I think any error, like we just want to know how to handle. Like if there is error, you can handle it properly. If you can anticipate the error, that is what we want to know. There can be lot of errors, like this value error, index out error, lot of things are there. But arrays is a different thing altogether. Like, we are not dealing with that. Om, you were saying something.
So you want that program which you have run prior? You want to write it?
I want to write it. Nikhil, you know Hindi?
Yeah, sir. He's trying to say you want that program which you have prior.
He wants me to give him that program.
Yeah, sir.
I will upload this. Like you can, you have to go to the course page, go through this. I have shared the link also. Right? So week 3 codes, week 4 codes, all these are shared with you. You just have to look into the course page. In the course page, there is in the last in the course page. Like if you go down, you can see here problem solving session recordings. If you click on here, you will get a link of Google Sheet. There you can get the Google Drive link, or also I have shared here, right? You can go to this Google Sheet and yeah, you can go to this Google Sheet and you can get the Drive link, and I also shared it. After this class gets over, I'll upload this again. Okay. I will share all the codes whatever I'm writing. Don't worry. Let's say you want we want to do division now. So division, right? Uh, this is something which we do on a daily basis, right? So here again, we have two inputs and both the inputs have to be integers. And we want to print the result, like which is a divided by 2, whatever the result we get, we want to print it after the program gets executed. So now if I run this line, it will ask me input. So enter the numerator. Let's say I am entering 5. Let's say denominator, if I enter 0. So what will happen? Now you can see there is this error which is occurring. Division by 0. So 0 division is not possible. Python will throw this error. So 0 division error will occur. So I don't want this error to occur on my pen and my program to get terminated. So, and also there is also another error, right? Invalid input error is also there. Like I'm giving input integers, that's why it's not coming here, but that also can happen. So in order to avoid that, I can again use this, right? Again, I can write the code like this. Okay. So now you can see I am anticipating two errors, right? Like one is like a value error which can occur, and the second thing is 0 division which can occur. So these are the two errors which can occur in our thing. Like we have seen already, we have seen like how this can occur: 0 division error and value error. So if those things occur, like I can handle it gracefully now. So I can tell the user invalid user input, invalid integer input, or cannot divide by 0, something like that, and I can make sure. So if I run this, now you see, let's say I have 5, and now again I use 0. Now you can see the program is getting terminated by saying that cannot divide by 0. But still, like it is there is an error, but it is like giving you not a big error message and terminating by saying just by displaying just this message. Earlier we can see it gave a long explanation, like 4 or 5 lines of code, 4 or 5 lines of error message. It happened. But let's say again, like I want to ask the user for input again, like if there is an we do it like again, like in the last code how we have done, like we will use the while loop, and we will also define an except block here, else block, and we will break out of this like this. So now, if I run this, yeah, this is asking for input, numerator, denominator. Again, if I say 0, again you can see, because there is a 0 division error, it is going again to the start of the loop and asking again for numerator and again denominator. Both the things it will ask. So let's say if I give again properly now, what will happen? Now you can see this is getting like there is no error now. So A divided by 0, A divided by B is a proper division which will occur. Like we will get the input as like we will get the result as 1.0. So there are no errors happening. There is no value error and there is no exception error. So that's why after this get executed, because there are no errors, now this will become false. So that's why it will break out of the loop and it will print you the result. So like that, we can handle errors very gracefully by using this exception handling. So but you have to anticipate the errors. Okay, if you don't know some error which is not like that, like if you don't know some error which can occur, then also you can handle it well. So like you can say something like there is some like you can print something like let's say you don't know division, like division by 0 is some kind of error. You can write it like there is some error in the division, something like that. We can, some unknown error is happening, like you don't know what that error is, that also you can handle it properly. Yeah. Now if I run this again, it will ask me the numerator, it will ask me the denominator. Now you can see it is asking, there is like it is saying that there is some error in the division. It doesn't know, like we don't know what is the error, but we want to handle it. Now again we will try giving some proper inputs. Now it will give you a proper result because there is no error and it is handled. So you can handle known errors and also unknown errors by using exceptions. So that's what we can do. Like this is a very important thing while programming. Like you have to know these things, like how to handle errors. Otherwise, like as I've said, like I gave you an example, right? Like how an app will crash because you are not handling the errors. You don't want the users to go through all this stuff. Like you want the user to have a smooth user interface and smooth experience. Otherwise, they will uninstall your app, and they will like there will be a lot of competitors to you in the market, and they will use those other things. So you have to be proactive and handle your errors properly, and make the user interface very friendly, at least. Yeah. So later, like if you don't know some error, like you can tell the user that there is some error. We have notified our team. They will look into it. So what happens is that it will send the error message, like the long error message which we have seen, right? It will send the error message. Like in Windows also you might have occurred, like seen this, like in your phone or something. So you can see message like notify Microsoft or notify our team about this error. Report whenever there is whenever there is an error, some error which is happening while you are trying to open a program or something. There will be a display, right? Like you'll be prompted to you'll be prompted by a message saying that notify our team about this disruption. So you can tell them, okay, yes, like if you say yes, then it will go to their team. Like that error message will be sent in background to their team, and they will be able to see that okay, this is some error, and we have to fix it, and we have to handle it well. Like that, uh, things can be rectified properly. Otherwise, the program will crash abruptly, and the user will get some random error message which he or she cannot read. So, like obviously we know programming, we can read programming, like we can read this value error, all this stuff, but the user who is using, the end user who is using your product might not be able to read all those error codes. He has to get some message which he can understand in plain English. Yeah, that's what that is what the importance of exception handling. Okay, we will see the next thing. Yeah. So we can next thing we can do is we can maintain a dictionary of student names and marks. If name already exists, if there is a like if the name already exists in the dictionary, append the marks of the student to that uh, student's name. If there is no name, like if the name is new, you have to make sure that the new name is entered into the dictionary and using the exception handling. Like we will see how that how we can do that. Yeah. So you have to remember that while whenever you are writing this while loop, you have to make sure that you are also writing this else block. If you don't write this else block and tell the computer to break out of this, so it will be very difficult. Like it will keep on uh, doing sometimes like it will go keep on running the loop. So else block is very important. Uh, Make sure that you write this else block also. Okay. Okay. We will now let's do some files related stuff. Uh, Instead of this, I will not do this. Third thing, you can do it. Input and printing, all this stuff. We will go to the part C now. So how we can handle files? Like as we can see, like sometimes we can ask the user to enter the input, but obviously if the input is like very long, let's say some 10 or 100 lines of text, obviously it will not be good for you to sit on the terminal or in the programming ID which you are using to write all the lines of code in the program. So what you can do is like you can ask the computer to take some file which is there in your memory, stored in your memory of the computer, and take that file as an input and do the processing whatever you want to do. So that's what, like if the input is sometimes like you can ask the user for input through keyboard, but a lot of times you might also want to deal with files so which are already stored in your memory of the computer. Yeah. So to do that, like let's say if you have a if you like let's say if I want to write a program that opens a file named students.txt. So there is some file, let's just say I will I'll create some file now. Text file I'll create. Say I'll name it. You can also create this in Notepad or some other text editor. But yeah, I'm directly using. I'll write something like Shabir, Lakshmi or Sriram, something like this. I'll write some names randomly. I'm just writing stuff and I'll save it. It has some text, like it can be some 1,000 lines of text also, but you can just see, like we'll just see how we can. Now I have a file called students.txt. Let's say I want to open this file. So I want to open this file and whatever the contents in this file are stored into this variable, like which we have defined called f. Okay, so I want to open this file or this, or you can also, we call this as file handle. So yes, this is called file handle. So now I'll open this students.txt whatever I have written. And I'm writing, like you can see that, and there is a comma, and in double quotes I have written R, which means I'm opening the file in read mode. You can also use write mode, like we can use W instead of R, you can use W. So if I want to just read the file, then I can use R. So now if I run this program, like I run this line, you can see that, yeah, student, or sorry, this is a converted into a marker. Now if I run, you can see there is some value error, and it is saying that, yeah, because you can see I have given some space after R, it is throwing a value error. I should not give any spaces here. Now if I run it again, you can see this has run properly. So there should not be space, like double quotes should start, you have to write R and then double quotes should end. Yeah. So this has opened the file. Now you can like do whatever you want, like let's say we have lines, right? Like we have lines, line in F, print line, like now if I run this, what will happen? Now you can see each line it is printing, like Shabir, Lakshmi, and each line it does print till how many lines, like how many lines are there, then till then it will print and execute the program. Now let's say instead of students, I'm just have done, let's say, a small spelling mistake. Instead of students.txt, I have written student.txt. What happens is, if I run this, what error will happen? Like what error will occur? So can anybody tell me, like if you know what kind of error it will?
Yes, sir.
Jaya, what you are saying?
File does not exist.
Yeah. File does not exist, right? So if we run this, we will get error called file not found error. So you can see that there is no such file or directory called student.txt. So obviously this is an error which we expect. So whenever we ask the user to give some file as input, he or she might, obviously, like this is a human tendency, right? Like you can miss some spelling or something like that. So obviously this can happen. We can expect this error. So we have to make sure that we handle it properly. So again, we use exception. So I can write this program instead of writing like this. I can tell now you can see again I have written this quotes. There are some white spaces here. I have to remove them. Yeah. This has run. Now if I do the spelling mistake by giving the file name, now you can see I have defined an exception here, and instead of that long message which was occurring, obviously this is a like file not found error, something like that user can read, but like there can be very complex error which users will not understand. So we can handle this very gracefully by saying, like by printing this statement that file is not found. And as we have said, like as we have seen, like you want the user to give proper file name, then you can again use this while loop, right? You can see file not found, file not found, file not found. So this is happening, and this is not terminating at all. So I have done some error here, like I have done some mistake here. What is the mistake? Because like because of what error in this program? Like I have missed something. Because of that, this is like running infinitely like this. I have to ask the user for input. That's what I have to do. So so first we have to let's say file and write like input enter the file name. Now let's see what will happen. Student dot txt file not found. Again it will ask say students dot txt. I am giving the proper file. Again it is saying file not found. Print the file name. Print the file is open. Yeah. Let's do this.
Sir, I guess there we have to write format specifier.
Yeah. I have done some of that.
Curly braces. F and curly braces. Because it will be sting no if you write.
Yeah. I have to change it. Some formatting error is there. Yeah, this is this quotes I have not used because I am conduct. Now it will be proper. Okay. Now if I run this, you can see student.txt. Intentionally I am writing the wrong file name. It is saying file not. Now if I write the proper file name, this file is open. File is open, but again it is asking me file name. Why is it asking me file name again and again? Can anybody tell me? I have given proper file name and it is open, but still it is asking me again. It is not.
You read, sir.
I have given read. But it like everything is done. The file is opened, ready to read, but still it is the program is again asking me to give the file name. Why is it asking me again? It should not ask me, right? Because I have given properly. File name is given properly again. Why is it asking? Yeah. As I have said, we have to terminate the loop, right? Like we cannot. We have to terminate the loop. As I've said, this else block is very important. If you don't give else, it will not break out of the loop, right? Because this will always be true. As long as try is there, except is there. This will always be true, and it will be like the while loop will be executed infinite number of times, right? So we have to somehow get out of this vicious cycle. So we have to give else, right? That's what we have to do. Now you can see if you give the proper file name, the file is open and it has came out of the like that. This is very important. Yeah, this is very important. Like you have to remember this. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. It will keep on running. Or you can also give the break statement instead of here. You can give it here as well. Like after running this print statement, also you can give the break here. Like instead of using else, you can give it here also. But I would suggest use a separate else block and give the else. Terminate out of the loop. These are things you should tell. Like these are the things you should look at the program and tell that else is missing or break is missing. That's why it is good. So only if you do a lot of practice, you will be able to like identify these things by just looking at stuff. Otherwise, you will not be able to. So that's why write a lot of programs, like write a lot, like practice a lot, make a lot of mistakes. Then you will be able to do things properly and save your time in the exam. Okay. So that's how we can handle this file not found error. Like we can open the file, so then we can also read the file, right? Like the file is open, like you can also, like obviously you would also like to uh, uh, read whatever is there in file, right? Like for line in f, something you might want to do, like you can say print line, something like that. Then whatever things which you want to do after, like you opened the file, then you should also close it. So after doing whatever the stuff which you want, you have to uh, close it. So like let's say you are taking this line, I have this, right, something like this, Sabir Ahmad, and I have some space given like this, some white space here, and some tab here, and for this some white space here, something like this. Now I will save this. Now I want to, let's say, strip off this space as something like that. Unnecessarily they're there in that stuff. I don't want that. Now you can say print line and strip the spaces, whatever the white spaces, left and right, whatever the like white spaces are there, I want to strip them and print the line, whatever which I'm getting. And after doing that, I should also close that file. So that is a very important thing. So like whenever you are handling files, like you have to open them, then also you have to, like if you are modifying them, like here we are just reading, like if you are modifying them, then also like then you have to close them also. Otherwise it will be there parked in your like RAM, like because your files will be there in your secondary memory or ROM or your hard disk. So whenever we are operating, like whenever we are opening a file, things will come, like some stuff will come in the buffer, like we have seen, right? Professor has explained. So it will come into our primary memory, and using that primary memory, like whatever the RAM which you have, right, like 4 GB or let's say 12 GB, it is limited. Secondary memory you might have let's say 1 TB or 500 GB, something like that. But primary memory which we have is very limited. Like you don't want to be cluttered a lot. Like if RAM is filled, like your computer will hang and it will not work properly, right? So a lot of things are there. So obviously when you open file and something is done, like the work is done with that file, then you have to close it so that it goes out of your primary memory and there will be space left for other things to do. Okay. So after you open, do something, then you also have to make sure that you open, you close the file. So very important thing to do. So remember these things. Whenever you open a file, you have to close it also at the end of whatever operations or modifications or uh, things you want to do. Now you can see that I have removed the white spaces, like using the strip function. Like obviously, if I have not used the strip function, like if I just used something like if I'm just printing the line, now you can see that it is printing with white spaces. So I don't want this white spaces. These are present in my file, but I don't want while I print this. So that's why I'm using. Now you can see, like after each line, new line is getting created, and print statement itself will create a new line. So that's why you can see there are two new lines which are getting created. So now if I use the strip function, so it will not happen. So we'll just strip the new lines and also the white spaces which are there. New lines also it will strip, and also the white spaces, and it will print like this. So print statement will give you a new line. So apart from that, the new lines which are present in the file itself, those won't, those will be stripped off. So that is what you have to like. This is how you can deal with files actually. So you have to open them and make sure that you have handled this file not found error. So lot of things like this you can expect and handle them properly. Yeah, and there is also, let's say instead of this you have instead of lines we have something like this, right? Let's say marks are there of students, something like this. uh, Alice has got 87.5, Bob has got 91 marks, something like this. Things are there. So you would want the code to extract the names and marks properly, and whatever there is like malformed lines are there, we have to uh, accept, like we have to uh, handle them gracefully. Let's see how it can do. First I will save this, and then I will go here. Now f is equals to open students dot txt. This in double quotes, very important. Now let's see. We have to define lines. I will just modify the file. Yeah. So now you can see I am opening this file student.txt, and each line has a student name, and it is separated by their marks. So I would want to read the name, right? Like I would want to extract the name and marks so correctly. So let's say if there is no something like if I missed a comma, right? If I miss a comma, let's say some Nike, there is some student called Nike. He got some 40 marks, and I have not given a comma here. So obviously there has to some error. There has to be some error, right? Because we are splitting marks and name by using this like we have comma using that, like before comma what is there is name, and after comma what is there is mark. So that's what we are doing. So let's say I will and print name comma mark here, right? Print name comma mark. You can see that first it is getting thing. Then after that, in the third line there is no comma. That's due to that there is a error, which is a value error which is happening, and that is a malformed line. So to handle that value error, it is printing that error that there is an invalid line. So let's say if I modify that line now properly, so that there is no error, there is comma, and now it can be split properly, and now you can see that uh, we are uh, uh, separating all the names by line. So here only this last line is um getting split, because like uh, I run this for loop from first to last line, right? So line has only now this last line. So first three lines have gone. So you can like if I write this for loop inside, now you can see, right? So each line is getting printed. Now I don't want that, I'll just remove it. You can see each line is going through this split, whatever this line split is there, it is doing uh, like by using this comma, like it is splitting into two variables, name and mark. And after that we are also printing name and mark separately. Like obviously comma will give you a space, name after name you can give a space. Instead of that you can also give some other thing like some colon you want to use so that it looks uh, very nicely. It can also see there is a syntax error. I have to give in double quotation or single quotation like this. So we can open the files and do formatting of text and print like this. So this is like a very simple thing. So like there are a lot of CSV files are also there. Like whenever you deal with Excel files, right? Like there's those can also be uh, read as like formatted as CSV files, comma separated values. So each column is separated with a comma. So while doing this, like you can use this split and do the operation. So that's how you can deal with exceptions, handle files gracefully, and print whatever you want. So there are a lot of other things were also which were also discussed uh, in this week. Today I'll stop here. So I have some other work as well. So today I'll stop here. Whatever this all the different programs are there which I have not taught you here. I'll upload it along with the solutions. I'll upload this file also with a separate file, but I will say don't look at the solutions first you write try to write these programs on your own, then you check the solution file. So this tutorial sheet of today along with the solution sheet I'll upload. Okay. You practice a lot. I hope you have understood whatever the lectures have which have been taught to you. There is limited time, so I try to discuss whatever I can, but I will remaining stuff I'll upload. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. We'll end this today. You hope you guys have a nice day, nice dinner, and sleep well. Yeah. I didn't understand. What is M? See, these files, like whatever the codes which I am writing, and also the tutorial sheet which I am showing to you, you have to learn to read the course page properly. Everything is there in your course page. You guys don't uh, go to the course page and check what is there, right? You need things in hand. So you have, if you go to the course page after like all the weeks, in the last there is a link, program problem solving sessions. If you click here, you can get the recordings and also the files, whatever I'm uploading. Okay. Be proactive. Okay. Okay, guys. Take care. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, this file handling, all modes will come or only reading and
Reading and writing only will come.
append and
Yeah. You have to revise everything. Appending whatever is mentioned in the class, you go through everything.
okay, sir.
Yeah, Lakshmi, lot of lectures to catch up, but you can always practice. See, lectures are very small. Only the amount of practice you have to be, amount of practice which you do has to be like very high amount. Like you have to give a lot of time. this course is a small course, but it has lot of content. Some, if you just go and learn Python, there are some other courses. In 8 weeks, they will just teach you how to write functions, all these things. But here, there are algorithms, file handling, all these things are there. So it's a very concise course, but lot of detail is there in this course. So practice a lot. You will go through it. Don't worry. Practice makes man perfect. These things, lot of things sound cliche, but whatever the things which you hear and you think that this thing is cliche, but those things are like most of the times they are true. Yeah. For DSA with Python, which textbook you can refer for understanding the language? I think Sriram, you suggested some book, right? Can you write that book name again? Nikhil wants a book. Sriram, are you there? Lakshmi, you remember the book's name? Which was yeah, okay.
Sir, tell
Yeah,
me, sir.
some textbook which was suggested to you, right, by Sriram.
Yeah, sir. I just go through it for a few days. Actually, I told you that lecturers are very in advanced level, so I need to level up me to understand the lectures. Like that, I told you.
Yeah,
But one fresh morning, I take the lecture and listen to it. Means it is understanding. After the end of the day, I try to concentrate. Means it is little bit difficult to focus.
okay,
So
okay.
after a few days, I try to connect to it by practicing, by hearing two to three times, rewinding uh, and practicing. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, you have to do, see, you have to revise. We have to revise, like, only revise and write codes on your own. Then you will learn. It's not a big deal.
yeah, while watching the lectures itself, I uh, try to understand what is the faculty saying and what is there in the code. Or any difference? How does it work? Like that, I try to find out. So it is taking a little bit time, but when I understand the concept, means it is really easy to catch up.
Okay. Good. Keep up the hard work.
So
You'll
that
get there.
it is
Hmm.
taking a bit more time to complete a lecture. So a lot of lecture to uh, finish.
Okay. It's okay. Take your time. We have like week one, like 1 week time for each thing.
Sir, how to prepare for final exam? If you are writing the final exam, how do you prepare? Any tips for us?
See, my only thing is whenever there is an assignment for that week, I will try to solve it completely. Okay. And I will do practice daily, as I said. So you have to do daily practice. There is no, so whatever the code which you, like, whatever the code which you have got in assignments, you have to revise it a lot. Like you have to, like, algorithms should be in your mind, like even in sleeps. If someone asks you what is the base case for this sorting, what is the base case for insertion sort or something else, you should be able to tell things. Like, make sure that by the end of exam, you write code or whatever, like whatever the assignment codes which are given to you, you should be able to write them in like 15 to 20 minutes, something like that. So then we'll be ready by the end of that course. I'm just saying, for example, like you just uh, like make your own calculation how much time it needs for each program depending upon the difficulty. Okay.
Okay,
As
sir.
you keep like a simple thing, keep on doing practice. As you keep on doing practice, you will be very thorough with the concepts, and you will be very thorough with the exam. Like algorithms, you will be very thorough with the syntax also. So if you are very thorough with things, whenever is something asked with you, whenever is something asked in the exam, obviously because you know things, you will be able to do in a very fast manner. So to do that, you have to do practice lot of different types of questions. Okay, not only the assignment questions. You go through hacker rank or whatever the practice sheets which I have uploaded here. So there are a lot of practice sheets. You can go through them, practice sheets. Like I have made questions in such a way that they are not like very direct or straightforward. There will be some story to it, right? Like you will be asked like whatever the assignment question is there, right? Something related to tennis or something like that. So you have to practice these kinds of uh, uh, examples a lot. So whenever you go to the exam, you should be ready to deal with any kind of uh, question. Like there is nothing like story is just a concept, context. But whatever the things which you have done earlier, only you have to do. Like you have to deal with files, strip the white spaces, extract marks, extract some data, print something like that. These things only you have to do. So whenever you are thorough, you will be able to do these things without any difficulty. So like this is like getting very monotonous, but practice practice a lot. That's what yeah. I know this is a very not very difficult, but like difficult course. Not like if you're a beginner just starting with Python, maybe you will feel a little difficulty, but it will be easy as you go on. Okay.
Sir, one general question, sir.
Yeah.
I am doing code in PyCharm. While
Yeah.
writing code, easy or tough? If I mention their function name as binary search means, after writing code, while doing code, if I type if means, it will show the suggestion. It will show the hint.
Okay.
I don't need to think. I just have an idea how to do the code, but it is just a basic level only. I have an idea in my mind, but
Okay.
while I trying to code, it will show the correct exact suggestion.
Okay. You have AI. I think you are in your uh, PyCharm editor. Don't try to use editors like that. So maybe you can use Jupyter Notebook or something else, which should not suggest you suggestions. Like if it is suggesting you, if it is giving you suggestions, then it is killing your thinking. Okay. So avoid that kind of editors. In exam, you will not get these suggestions. Okay.
That is my next question.
You will not get suggestions. You have to write your entire code.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.